A new Fox News poll revealing most Americans consider the Taliban's control of Afghanistan a threat to our country's security. But Taliban fighters in Kabul apparently missed the battle. One commander telling the Washington Post, quote, "All of my men, they love jihad and fighting. So when they came to Kabul, they didn't feel comfortable. There isn't any fighting here anymore. Many of my fighters are worried they missed their chance at martyrdom in the war. I tell them they need to relax. They still have a chance to become martyrs. But this adjustment will take time." Fox Nation host Lara Logan spent years covering the war on terror in Afghanistan, and she joins us now to react. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. How big of a threat does the Taliban pose to the United States?
Well, you know what's remarkable to me about that poll is that in spite of the fact that Americans have been lied to about every single aspect of what their leaders have been doing in Afghanistan, they see through it. You know they can't be lied to. Imagine if they told the truth and said, hey, you know what? This is Al-Qaeda. This isn't some group called Taliban that we can draw some, convenient distinction between them because the Taliban isn't a designated foreign terrorist organization. Well, actually, the number two in the Taliban is, and he's now the Interior Minister in charge of all security, and he's working with the U.S. State Department and the CIA to lock down that country and turn it into a prison for all of our allies. You know, we make a lot of fuss about the American citizens and the green card holders who are trapped there, and we should. They should have been protected, and they should be home right now. But you know who else should have been protected? The people that made it possible for us to do what we did there, not just, in the last 20 years, Ainsley, but in the last 50 years. What they've done is they are working hand in hand, according to intelligence sources, military sources, U.S. sources, Afghan sources. They are working hand in hand with Al-Qaeda in the Panjshir Valley, killing off the soldiers, the special operations soldiers who we trained and then we lied about. We painted them as a bunch of cowards. We said they love the Taliban. That's why they all gave up. There's those women that you see in the streets who are protesting who have to be the bravest women on earth because they have no rights, there's no recourse, there's no judicial process. They're going house to house. Imagine as a mother when somebody comes to your door and they say, give me your 12-year-old daughter or your 11-year-old son. He's going to be martyred in the fight, or she's going to be my wife. Being my wife means your child who knows, as one Afghan said to me last night, my niece knows only dolls, right? That's what she does. And she's going to be, I've told them to hide in the basement. People are digging holes and living underground. That's how afraid they are. And because they know their daughters are going to be raped by some man much older than them for the rest of their life. And they're just going to be a slave. We talk a lot about slavery in this country. We say, oh, we don't believe in slavery. We don't stand for that. The United States stands for freedom. But we are endorsing, and in fact, we're paying for slavery with our own tax dollars. And we didn't have to do any of this. The United States is a superpower. We did not have to negotiate with the Taliban to put our tail between our legs and withdraw from the country. We didn't have to leave the Afghan Air Force with no maintenance contractors at the very same moment. We didn't have to take away air support for their highly mobile special operations capability that was keeping everything together in the fight in that country. There are 1,000 choices we made. We still do not have to leave all those weapons, $80 billion worth, in the hands of the Taliban. No one has asked the Biden administration, General Milley, General McKenzie, General Donahue, right? To these people who could have done everything differently and still could. They could get stealth UAVs, which overnight could destroy every attack helicopter or plane or, armored vehicle, Humvee, whatever it is. Why are we leaving these assets in the hands of the terrorists who were responsible for 9/11? They stand up there and they say, never again, never again. Could you think of a greater way to dishonor the people who died on 9/11 and every soldier who's been killed or wounded since, and all of those families, than to take the terrorists responsible, give them their own state, give them international recognition, which is what the United States government is trying its hardest to do, give them access to international institutions, and all for the excuse that, well, Pakistan, their big supporter, they've got nuclear weapons and we have to do whatever they say because we have no leverage, we're weak, we're pathetic, we're isolated. And more than that, we're just drenched in the blood of people who care about freedom and the values that we share. And we gave them to their enemies. We took the lists, their names, their phone numbers, their children, their addresses, their biometrics, and we handed it to Al-Qaeda to hunt them down and kill them one by one. And every day, more of them are dead.
It's unbelievable. Well said, Lara. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.